Hi, I'm Julian Ackley, and I just wanted to say one thing that I think is really dumb, and that is the whole princess thing. Like you see lots of videos and lots of people and stuff talking about how to get a guy to treat you like a princess, and I just think this is like really horrible on many levels. And the first problem with it is that it makes how a man treats you determinative of your identity. Like, I'm a princess if he's acting a certain way. It's like, if anything, you should call it how to get a guy to treat you like he's a prince. Because if he's acting like a prince, that reflects on him. His behavior does not reflect on you. And I think like one of the things that really binds women up, like I think there's lots of ideas in our culture that really bind women up and rob them of their power. And one of them is the idea that, which is constantly reinforced in subtle ways, that how a guy treats you is somehow reflective of who you are. But it's not. It's like a guy can treat you wonderfully, because maybe he's a great guy, or maybe he's trying to get something from you, or he can treat you horribly because maybe he has issues, maybe he's trying to manipulate you. Regardless, how he treats you doesn't determine who you are. There's no way a guy can treat you that makes you seem like a princess. If you want to be a fucking princess, then you can act like a princess, whatever that means, but how a guy treats you doesn't determine if you're a princess. I doubt princesses get treated especially well. So it'd be better to say how to get a guy to behave like a gentleman around you. But I don't think you can really do that, because he would only behave like a gentleman around you if he were a gentleman. But the second problem with that is that, like, it's talking about dating, right? And trying to control how a guy dates you, or how a guy behaves while dating you, is really the dumbest thing possible, because there is nothing that says less about who a guy truly is and how he behaves at the beginning of a relationship. In almost all cases, he's playing a game. He could be the nicest man ever, he could seem super helpful, and he could have the exact opposite character of that. Unfortunately, there's just no way to know who a person is from how they behave in the beginning. Some people talk about red flags, but I personally believe red flags are more like hindsight being 20/20. Because there's a million things you could notice at the beginning of the relationship that could be a red flag, but then again, maybe they're not a red flag. It could just be a little blip. You don't really know until it's too late. It's like, I don't know how you can really know who a guy is, but probably your best guess, if you have the balls to do it, would be to interview his ex-girlfriends or get someone else to do that. But most people don't have the balls. Okay, the other thing is that it relates to a larger idea in our culture that negatively impacts all feminine things, like music being another example. Like in music, it's commonplace for people to say, oh, if you're good enough, if you're good enough, this will happen. If you're good enough, the audience will like you. If you're good enough, you'll be paid money or whatever. It's like the way the world treats you is made into a reflection of who you are. And I just find that so ironic, because who is the most towering figure in our culture? Jesus. And what was Jesus? He was the absolute perfect person. And what happened to Jesus? The fucking people, democratically or whatever, elected to have him tortured and killed. So the very best person had the absolute worst outcome based on the will of the masses. And whether or not you believe in that, you can just use logic or just look around to see that how the masses respond to something does not determine its value. People love things that are absolutely horrible. People hate things that are wonderful. The same thing can be loved and hated at different times, even though it hasn't changed. It's like making other people determinative of your value or your identity is just, it's ridiculously stupid and ridiculously damaging. And the other problem, I think, with being treated like a princess is, I think if you set expectations too high, then it frequently causes you to end up with a result that's too low. And being treated like a princess, nobody gets treated like a princess. Like there's no long-term relationship where a man, I'm not 100% sure. I'm not 100% sure what that would mean, but I'm guessing almost no man has the ability to consistently treat someone like royalty or like a princess. This seems like you should like make it more like, let's see if this is like a decent guy. Let's see if he would like actually be there for me if I needed him. But once again, you won't know at the beginning because it's whatever happens in the beginning. It's just an illusion. It's a game. But a princess is not what you should be aiming for, in my opinion. It should be aiming for someone who will not degrade you, someone who would like basically support you, be there for you, and give you some love. You know what I mean? It's like treating you like royalty is maybe, I just feel like that's not gonna like lead to the best results. So yeah, I think people should try to find out men's character, but getting men to initially treat you like royalty is stupid on lots of levels. And even if someone does treat you really well in the beginning, it doesn't even mean anything. So making it reflective on yourself is ridiculous, and even placing any particular meaning on the type of bait that a man puts on his hook is also ridiculous. So that's why I think we should really end the whole thing about how to get princess treatment. I'm Julie Neckley. I thank you.